Throughout history, we've seen one type of a recession or another, and they usually occur around every 8 to 10 years. In the early 80s, we saw 2 different recessions, including that big 1989 savings and loan crisis. In the 90s, we had another one. In the 2000s, again, we had 2 more, the big dot-com bubble burst and the great mortgage crisis. It's been 12 years now since our last recession, and the signs are all here that we are at the beginning of another recession. Thing is, if this recession turns out to be as bad as I think it will be, it probably will not be short-lasting like all the others, but could likely go on for years and years. In this video, Final Expense Sales and the Recession, I'm going to go over my prediction of what I believe could be the worst recession we'll see in our lifetime. Potentially really huge, and why. And I'm also going to talk about how selling final expense insurance will likely see a minimum impact, if any at all, coming up after this. I'm Doug Massi, and before we get into the video, I am going to ask that you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done that. And please do smash down on the thumbs up button so that we know you're actually watching this video. Also, if you'll stick around till the end, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of the policy summary that I leave with every single person that I sell. Now, the cool thing about this thing is it's a great way to help keep your new client from getting buyer's remorse, because you really do want to leave the client with something in writing that shows how much their monthly premium is going to be and when it will be drafted, along with a description of what they are getting out of their new whole life insurance policy. Let's face it, every bubble has to burst, and what goes up must come down. Our economy has just been amazing over the past few years. Unemployment has been at a record low, as low as it's been since the 60s. And when we look back at each recession, every economic crash tends to occur when 2 factors collide together. Currently, there are several, like right around 5 different things that are happening that are all contributing to what looks to me like the makings of a horrible crisis. Just to be clear, I am not a financial analyst in no way, but am simply making my prediction off of what I see happening in the United States, combined with what all the financial analyst guys are saying. You see, a lot of things are changing in the United States. We've got these companies like Uber and Lyft. They're heavily competing, taking lots of business from the normal taxi cab companies. Instead of there being less traffic, which was originally predicted, there are so many Uber and Lyft drivers that the traffic has actually gotten worse. Now, think about it. They went from driving people to delivering food, and now these guys are tapping into the package delivery industry. There's been some recent news headlines that have caught my attention. I just read somewhere that Ford will be laying off like 7,000 workers this year, and are actually expected to lay off, and this is the numbers they're saying, around 23,000 people in the next 3 years. A couple weeks ago, I read something about artificial intelligence, how automation could be replacing over 40% of the workers in the next 10 or 15 years. And this all goes hand in hand with what's happening with the digital revolution. Now, notice the changes in how we do our shopping, how different they are from 10 years ago, and even how we buy normal daily items like razor blades, skin creams, office supply, medication, toothbrush. Heck, I got one of those new Quip, I think that's what it's called, Quip toothbrushes, and now they send me a new brush and battery every 90 days. So what's happening is a lot of companies are feeling the Amazon effect already. Walmart, Kmart, Macy's, Sears, Bed Bath & Beyond, Office Depot, JCPenney, Walgreens, CVS, GNC. Dude, all of the major corporations. The list goes on and on and on. They are closing stores left and right like crazy. Here's something to think about. What most people don't know is that your local shopping malls do not charge the big chains like JCPenney's and Macy's rent, because those chains are what are bringing most of the people to the mall. They're major business attractors. So when these stores close, the malls have to close next. I don't know about you, but I'm buying like everything from Amazon nowadays. I mean, it's just way too easy. And now that Amazon has bought Whole Foods, and of course the first thing they did was lower the prices to compete with the regular normal grocery stores, you know, like the big chains like Kroger, ShopRite, Publix. But the thing is, the quality of Whole Foods is much better than those other guys. I mean, personally, we're waiting for a Whole Foods to open near us so that we can enjoy those high quality groceries for the same price that we're paying when we go to Publix. I suspect that we'll see Whole Foods growing even more. We're going to see more people getting their groceries delivered, and this is all going to add to that side effect of people losing their jobs. Because as Amazon expands and grows and becomes more and more automated, you know, because buying online is still expanding and growing, more and more of the regular grocery stores we're going to just basically keep on closing. Meanwhile, the real estate market's going to struggle because less people will be able to afford purchasing new homes. And a lot of the people that have actually recently bought houses may start to lose their homes. This is also going to affect the stock market, banks, mortgage companies. We are currently looking at the building blocks of what could actually end up being the longest and one of the most impactful recessions in U.S. history. Guys, I hope I'm wrong. But just in case, here's the bright side about being a final expense agent. Our market consists of people that are mainly getting by on Social Security and, in most cases, Social Security alone. So these folks are already living at a low poverty level. Sadly, they have no place to go but up. Even in an economy crash, I just don't see these folks, our current clients, being affected. And that means we still sell final expense insurance to the same people with the same income. So I just can't see how that's really going to be relative to us in our industry. Sure, lead costs will likely go up because that's all they do. They keep going up and up and up. But when it comes down to it, the adjustment that we'll have to make during a recession probably won't be very much. And if you already have your system up and running where you're selling final expense on a regular basis and you're using a system like the one that we have at United Final Expense Services, you should still be able to grow a very lucrative business in the final expense industry. For a copy of the policy summary that I mentioned earlier, or for information on what is required to be part of our final expense sales program, email me at doug@ufesonline.com. When you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. So let's get out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.